So where should you be financially by age 30? Well, to be truthful, there's no exact figure, because everyone's circumstances are different and winning can vary for each of us. But let me play out an A-plus scenario to give you a picture of where your net worth should be. You have no neck pain because of the memory foam pillow. You've graduated college debt-free. You have a paid-for car. You start your career at 22, making $56,000 a year, and you start investing 15% of your income in your company's 401k plan. So with all that being said, let's crunch some numbers using our net worth calculator.
Alright guys, George KAMEL turns to the audience with a money lesson that could save you thousands. He exposes the financial habits quietly draining your wealth, challenges common money myths, and reveals practical strategies that could actually work. George KAMEL reveals possible scenarios where your net worth should be by the age of 30, making this a huge financial wake-up call some may actually need. Breaking it down on Debt Disaster Daily. Subscribe for more financial chaos and truths, and we'll jump right in.
What's up, guys? George KAMEL here with some fun facts for you. By age 30, you're older than 42% of Americans. On average, you've had 7.5 jobs, and don't pretend you don't know what that 0.5 is about. You call taking skates out of a roller rink cubby a job? Get a life. And your net worth should be, well, that's what we're here to talk about today. You see, we typically have a lot of expectations for who we should be and what we should have accomplished by age 30. And for me at age 34, I have yet to run a marathon, or forgive myself for mispronouncing acai for the last decade. But I console myself with the fact that I'm at least still with it. I'm hip. Sure, I still wear skinny jeans, which I know are out, but that big baggy stuff the kids are wearing these days, these parachute pants, it'd make me look like a puppet or a muppet.
Am I a muppet?
And yeah, I don't go out anymore, but I used to. It's just that after knowing how much my house costs to live in every day, why would I leave? Plus, every time you leave the house, it's at least $100, just gone, as soon as you step out the door. You go out to eat. You know how much they charge for a cardboard, gluten-free bun that turns my burger into a sad, crumbly salad? Too much. So before we dig into the numbers to find out what your net worth should be, let's prove to the algorithm and all the haters that we're still hip and relevant by clicking that like, subscribe, and share. Some say it's the new vaping. Vaping is out, like, share, subscribe is in. So click it or ticket. Let's get to it. Now first, let's clarify what net worth even means. It's a simple math equation. It's not your opinion, it's just accounting and financial metrics. Net worth is what you own minus what you owe. It's the total value of all of your assets, your house, your cars, your investments, your cash, your collection of Bob Ross originals, minus your liabilities. Things like credit card debt, student loans, your mortgage, and the remaining $2.82 you owe a firm because you buy now, pay later a case of Coke. It's a real thing, and I wish it wasn't. So that means your net worth is not just the stuff you have, because you could have $1 million in cash and investments, but if you also owe $1 million in debt, you're not a millionaire, you're broke. And let's also clarify that your net worth has nothing to do with your income. Just because you have a high income does not mean you have a high net worth. And just because you have a low income doesn't mean you have a low net worth. Now sure, a six-figure salary might help you build your net worth, but it won't lead you to a high net worth unless you're doing the right things with money.
That is correct. Just because you work at a job, right? Let's just say you work at some crappy factory that barely pays you the minimum and you barely scrape by. Let's just say you make about 20, 25, 30,000 a year. It's not over, though. That's not the end of the world for those who are struggling with that. Really just means you're probably doing some things wrong financially, and you need to financially reset in order to make sure you can increase your net worth by using your salary.
Are the 30-year-olds we're talking about today doing the right things to build net worth? Let's find out as we spin the wheel of net worth. According to Financial Samurai, the average net worth for Americans at age 30 is $8,000, which is sad. But at least it's more than nothing, right? No, that's barely an emergency fund. Not to mention, you've spent years working by this point. In fact, at age 30, you've likely worked around 17,000 hours as a contributing member of society. And all you have to show for it is $8,000? Man, at that rate, you're averaging about 47 cents an hour. Let that sink in. 47 cents an hour. And while that's a downright shame, it's not shocking, considering that debt is eating up way too many people's net worth. For someone aged 30 to 39, the average consumer debt amount, excluding their mortgage, is over $23,000. Guys, this is not where I want my 30-year-old brothers and sisters to be in life. I want you to have margin and freedom so you can get a good 7 hours of sleep on your memory foam pillow. That's where we should be. So where should you be financially by age 30?
So this might be a little controversial, but here's my take so far. You're either rich or you're poor by the age of 30. You're either rich or you are poor. Now, the reason why is because you had your 20s. You had literally your 20s in order to either slack off, just work on your job, 9 to 5, go to school, or, I don't know, maybe do some bullshit. Or you had 10 years to literally invest in yourself, invest on whatever side hustle you started. And by then you should probably have a decent business going on. If not, you probably failed somewhere or XYZ. There's many more scenarios, but usually it is either black or white. You're either rich or poor. But again, everyone has different scenarios. Everyone has different circumstances. So we'll see what he has to say about it.
Well, to be truthful, there's no exact figure, because everyone's circumstances are different and winning can vary for each of us. But let me play out an A+ scenario to give you a picture of where your net worth should be. You have no neck pain because of the memory foam pillow. You've graduated college debt-free. You have a paid-for car. You start your career at 22, making $56,000 a year, and you start investing 15% of your income in your company's 401k plan. So with all that being said, let's crunch some numbers using our net worth calculator.
I would like you to crunch those numbers again.
It's a program. There's no such thing as...
Just crunch them. Just crunch them, please.
And if you want to play along, I'll link that net worth calculator below. So let's start on the asset side, and let's go with real estate. Let's say because you're debt-free, you're able to save up and put a whopping $50,000 down payment on a $250,000 townhome. Now, over time, that townhome appreciates to $300,000 by age 30, meaning you have a total of $300,000 in real estate assets. Boom. Already at 300 grand. We're looking good so far. So you still have your original mortgage of $200,000 since you put down 50. So your liabilities are $200,000 on our real estate loans. Now, let's take into account your checking account. And we'll say you have $1,000 in a checking account right now. We're gonna add that on the asset side. Now your savings account. You already have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, which we're gonna call $15,000 in this case. So savings accounts, $15,000. Now let's talk about investing. You've been investing 15% of that $56,000 income from age 22 to 30. Now with the average rate of return, we're gonna call that $100,000 in your 401k. And that's assuming you never got a raise. All right, let's add $100,000 to the retirement accounts. Now we move on to cars. We'll say that you have a paid-for 2016 Nissan Rogue that's currently worth about $15,000. We're gonna add that to the cars. Now we have other assets. This could be the value of antiques, jewelry, stocks, bonds, whatever else you have going on. And for fun, we're gonna call this your extensive Bob Ross collection, which is currently worth $5,000. All right, let's see what that brings our total net worth to. Let's calculate that net worth. $236,000. Incredible. Now, that's an A+ scenario, assuming you did all the right things in your 20s. And it's likely that your report card looks a little different. And while there's no official ranking, I'm gonna create my own scoring system to help you self-assess where you're at. And I'm gonna call it the KAMEL Financial Scoring System, or KFSS for short. Or as I like to call it, KFSS.
Oh, snag.
Again, there's no shame here, but it's good to know where we stand. So let's start with an F. I'm gonna say you have an F on your report card if you have a negative net worth of $100,000 or more, in the negative. I think we all agree that's a bad place to be. Now moving on to the D, a negative net worth of up to $100,000. A C, we're gonna call that a $0 net worth up to a $10,000 positive net worth. Pretty good, and that puts you at average based on that Financial Samurai data. A B is a net worth of a $10,000 to a $100,000 net worth. And finally, you'll get an A and a gold star if you have a net worth of 6 figures or more. If your net
Yeah, you guys let me know down in the comments below what classification do you guys land on? I know many people are either between C or D, unfortunately, but you guys let me know in the comments.
Net worth is 100,000 plus, up to maybe a million or more. That's amazing. You are crushing it. You are doing all the right things with money. Now, don't freak out if you're not an A. Maybe you're more of a C plus student, or the type that carefully added a line to that F to make it an A. No judgment, and your parents weren't fooled. But regardless of what your past looked like, your financial GPA can and will improve if you follow some simple steps. And listen, no one sets out to become broke, other than theater majors. Bye-bye birdie, more like bye-bye retirement. I know, I thought you were gonna be in Hamilton too. It didn't work out. But going broke usually happens thanks to life circumstances paired with a series of bad decisions or financial ignorance. A loan here, a bad investment there, a couple of hundred swipes on the credit card later, and you're 30 on a crusty futon with no idea how you landed there. And even if you're not in totally dire straits like our futon-bound friends, being broke can also look like living paycheck to paycheck with no savings, or being in debt up to your eyeballs, or buying a brand new car because you can afford the monthly payments, but then not having enough in your bank to cover a $1,000 emergency. I know it sounds grim, but according to the numbers we talked about earlier, we live in a culture where broke is normal, and normal sucks. So maybe it's time to be weird. And listen, if you fall into that normal bucket, you don't have to stay there. No matter what age you are, you can turn your finances around. In fact, the people who follow the Ramsey baby steps become debt-free in 2 years or less. It's amazing. And it's the same plan I followed to knock out $40,000 in consumer debt in 18 months many, many years ago. Now, on average, 6 months later, you have a fully funded emergency fund saved. So get this, if you follow the Ramsey baby steps, in 2 to 2.5 years, you become completely debt-free with a pile of money in the bank. That is the first step to a higher net worth. Listen, you could be in the same place 2 years from now if you just do nothing. So how do you break the mold of normal and build a net worth that reflects how hard you work? Here's some action steps. Number 1, live on less than you make. Make a monthly zero-based budget and take a hard look at your take-home pay and your outgo each month. You've got to live on less than you make in order to build wealth. Number 2, buck the system. Stop following the trends and stop listening to broke people for financial advice. And stop believing that your credit score is some indicator of your financial health. It's debt management, not money management. And stop thinking that leveraging debt is some kind of wealth-building hack. Which brings me to my next point, ditch debt. I'm serious. Get rid of it. All of it. Student loans.
Now, this one might be a little controversial because, honestly, there's ways around it. There's ways around managing, leveraging debt. Now, I know these guys don't believe in that stuff. They're not Robert Kiyosaki, but to each on their own, I guess.
Credit cards, the car payment. We're getting rid of all of this stuff to free up our greatest wealth building tool, our income. And if you don't know how to get started paying off the debt, I'll drop a link to an article below on the debt snowball method that will walk you through exactly what to do. Number 4, invest the right way. There's a lot of ways to invest, and there's a lot of traps out there, and it's a whole lot simpler than you might think. And it doesn't involve picking the right stocks or the right crypto coins. A retirement account like a 401k or a Roth IRA is what real-life millionaires use to build wealth. And if you want more on this, check out my video called Investing for Beginners. I'll link that below as well.
Well, it looks like he's about to finish, so I'm just going to end it right here, folks. So, moral of the story is, don't be flabbergasted if you're not exactly where you want to be by the age of 30. If you're in your 30s and you're watching this, I'm not 30 yet, but you probably lived way more life than I did within a 5-year gap range. Probably went through multiple jobs, probably one divorce, probably got married, remarried, probably have some kids, etc., etc., etc. And maybe you just didn't have time to invest on understanding what money truly is and tackling down your finances. That could be the case too, which goes back to what I said before. Honestly, I'm probably not backing down when I say this. You're either rich or you're poor, and there's obviously circumstances that lay that statement. What I recommend for you guys to do is start now. Don't wait. Start now. If you have that desire to start a business, if you have that desire to tackle down your finances, start now. Don't even wait. You probably had 10 years to do it. Maybe you couldn't have done it before. I'm here to tell you that it is history now, and that you have one more chance to make that change, which is now. Start now. Don't wait. If you're not where you want to be in life, position yourself. Position yourself in order to be where you want to be in life. You can literally start with baby steps. But do not let your dreams go by. If you have circumstances, that's fine. It is not impossible. And it can be done. Don't stop. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is Debt Disaster Daily. Subscribe for more financial chaos and truths. And we're out of here.